All right. Welcome to a Sunday night evening episode of Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports. You can also find us on Facebook. So you can go there and do it there. We're also on Twitter, but it's under my personal name. So I'm going to have to change that. Or X. Sorry, we're X.
I don't do Twitter, so we're good.
All right, guys. I just want to make sure that you guys we gained some viewers since last week. Subscribers, so hit that subscribe button, or as they always say, smash that subscribe button. It's right there in front of you. Also hit that like button. More and more of you hitting that like button, it gets the algorithm out there. So that helps. And then please comment, and then by all means share it away after you get done commenting. We had a few comments last week, and so that was nice on the last episode. And I think we hit some record views on this last episode that we did on the game the other night. Last minute decision to go live and do it. So that was great. So we appreciate that. But let's not bore you any longer with my junk. Let's get started. And Calvin has a little bit of news, and then so does Kyle. So we're going to start with Calvin first. Calvin.
Yeah, about the only news item that I know is in concrete true is that Ethan Headings, who was going to a couple 3 weeks ago, switched his commitment from North Dakota to be a preferred walk-on as a safety at Iowa, has changed his mind. He isn't going to sign in February. He's going to go back to North Dakota and recommit to North Dakota. I theorize that it's a roster problem, that Iowa got like 3 walk-ons with a punter, long snapper, and the Beagley transfer from Southern Methodist. And I'm thinking that, you only have so many roster spots, and that might be a problem. Other people like Dean have suggested that we got so many safeties in the portal that he thinks he can play quicker someplace else. So anyway, that's my news bit.
Okay. Kyle, you hinted at this last week. What's going on there, buddy? What inside information have you got?
So, my daughter and I went basketball game, and who plays for Iowa. He is on the punt return and kickoff return team. He is number 31. So he told me that out of the $20 million Iowa gets for athletes, $15 million, that is 15 million, goes to the football team.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I ain't either.
Figured that.
Right.
Yeah, Beth says it's 75%, so that would be 50.
Yep. And, I asked, okay, for this coming season, who does he think that it's going to, who does he think is going to start? And right now he is saying Helinski over Brown for the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Is this DeLong?
Yeah.
When you said number 31, your audio was cracked. Your audio was cracking up, and I've known DeLong from Durant, walk-on linebacker, special teams guy. I thought his number was 31. So.
What is this guy from the Quad Cities that you both 31. Know him?
Durant, Iowa.
So his dad.
I don't know where Durant is.
Durant is right smack dab in between Iowa City and the Quad Cities on Highway 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Durant, they were kind of a small football team, but I have known his dad for a very long time. He coaches the girls basketball team. So always gotten to watch him over the years. Mm-hmm. So got to know him, and then now watch Nolan play. And he does like all these commits that we got coming in, the transfers. And he said Brown is going to be really good, and he's fast. And then the Diaz kid from Texas Rio Grande Valley, he said he's a stud and very fast. So I want to give a shout out to Nolan DeLong. So follow him on Instagram and go support him this coming football season.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do. Now your next thing is to get him on here for maybe an interview on here on the podcast in between now and the spring season starts.
You can get him or Ross Peterson. Ross Peterson was a walk-on at Iowa as well from Durant. So, and he redshirted his first freshman year and then started playing on the kickoff and punt return team as well.
All right.
So
my first game of my senior year, we played Durant, and the two guys I lined up against were John Relk and Myron Kepi. And Relk started 3 years at Iowa at guard for Kirk Ferentz and Hayden, and Kepi just started one game as a defensive tackle. But anyway, that's my claim to fame that I lined up against them guys.
All right.
I recognize Kepi, the last name, so they're all related somehow.
All right, so let's get on to the women's game today. The women, I mean, guys, this was somewhat of a blowout. It was never really in doubt. I think the closest they got it back to was maybe 14 points. Ohio State did, but Iowa seemed to answer that little run of theirs with their own run to get back in charge. But you could kind of tell from the beginning that there was a new energy about the Hawkeyes. And what really impressed me is they didn't quit playing when they got up 20-21. They continued to look for the baskets and stuff. And Jan Jensen made a mention in her thing that during one of their final huddles, Chit Chat spoke up and says, "This is how you finish games out." And we know that they didn't do a very good job of finishing the game against Maryland the other night. And so this is good. They learned their lesson. I think both coach and ladies learned their lesson on this game. The real deal, Addi, man, 20 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. I don't have her turnover stats, but I'm sure she has a credit with a couple of turnovers. But you guys remember that Caitlin Clark always led the team in turnovers too, but she got them back when she did points and assists.
Yeah, Caitlin had the ball in her hands 90% of the time, unlike any other player ever at the University of Iowa.
Yeah,
she sure
but
did.
I mean, yeah. So, what are your guys' takes on the game tonight? One of you want to, both of you take turns and just kind of give me your take
Kyle.
on the game.
Not you. You go ahead. You go ahead. My pizza should be done here soon. So
Okay.
I pretty much knew beforehand, unless we played really stupidly. And I knew when we played Maryland because they had 5 people out. I knew Ohio State only had 1 big girl on the roster. I knew that these 2 games should not be close. Maryland ended up to be close, but it shouldn't have been. Right. Maryland started 4 guards who were 5'9" and under. So when Hannah got the ball, there was a 6'5" girl in there, but she had to be on Ava. So Hannah got the ball. First quarter, Hannah won the game. She had 10 points in the first quarter. And I think Anna ended up with 15 rebounds. It was just simple. I knew Journey Houston wasn't going to play much because it was a game where our bigs were going to, every time they got the ball inside, as long as that 6'5" girl wasn't behind them to block it, the other big girl, every time you got, I bet we scored 80% of the time when we got it into the post.
Well, and I can tell you.
I didn't expect Ohio State to shoot 41% from 3 because they're not that good a 3-point shooting team. But I think Jan just thought, well, they ain't that good a 3-point shooting team. Let them shoot them. And that backfired a little bit. But we should have beat them by 40 points, in my opinion.
So we had 43 points in the 44 points in the paint tonight to their 14. And so that's almost 50%.
Well, Dean, read off the rebounding numbers. That'll tell you how big we were.
Rebounding numbers. Here we go.
I think it was
43 rebounds.
30.
43 rebounds to their 28. Guys, I know,
Yep.
and here's the other stat that I really like. Only 15 turnovers in this game.
Well,
looks like we lost. I didn't even realize we lost him.
he probably has an internet problem or something, but he'll be back.
Okay. Anyway,
but that's my take on the game.
Okay.
You know.
Alrighty. So, but anyway, we said that that their press could be the difference in the game if we could break the press, if we could rebound, and we could hold our turnovers. And I believe On Three said we'd be okay if we kept them under 20, but we did even better than that. We only gave up 15 turnovers, and I think a couple of those were late because we were sitting on a pretty low number for a while because I was watching the stat sheet. But yeah, let's just read off while we're waiting for the return of Kyle. We shot 37 of 64 for field goals. They were 24 of 69. We shot 58% from the field today. But when you're shooting them like Hannah and Ava were at point blank range, that was pretty good.
With somebody 5'9" on you.
Yeah. So they considered a wash on the 3-pointers. We were 9 for 22. They were 14 for 34, and you know who got most of those. But both of them were 41%. He's just sending me a message now. Let's see. Okay, I'm just seeing if he can log back in.
You said that we shot 58%. Something I noticed on the stat line was we only had 2 players that shot under 50%. We had Addi Deal only made 8 out of 17, which is under 50%. And she was 1 for 7 from 3-pointer. And the only other player that was under 50% was Stremlo, 2 for 5, which is 40%. But all 5 of her attempts were 3-pointers. So she was 40% from 3-pointers. So everybody shot good on the whole team. So
I'm telling him to check his internet. He can't get in. Usually when I couldn't get back in, it's because my internet wasn't cooperating. All righty. Guys, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and put this up for 2 people until he gets back. All righty. So let's go back to where we are at. Okay. All right.
Boy, look at them two old codgers.
31%. 41% each on the 3-pointers, but we're going to get into the individual scores on there. Free throws, they were 8 for 11. We were 8 for 12. But however, that one difference of the free throw, they had 72%, almost 73. We had 66, almost 67%. The difference of one free throw made that big of a difference. Okay. Rebounds, as we talked about earlier, were 43 to 28 for us. We had 28 assists. They had 11. And I believe Jan's only lost once, according to the announcers, when Iowa has 20-plus assists a game. Am I not mistaken? I think that's the stat they put up today. Yeah. They had 7 blocked shots. We had 5. They had 9 steals. We had 8. They had 11 turnovers. We had 15. 44 to 14 in the paint, and we had fewer fouls, 10 fouls. They had 14. So, but the girl who did the most damage, Cambridge. She was 9 rebounds and 21 points and 4 assists. But it seemed like, and this is what's her name? Jolene?
Geloni.
Okay. So it seemed like every time she got the ball, she was firing a 3 and making them. And I was going to say at the beginning, I thought we were kind of like holding her back, but I think she got most of their threes, but I don't have that stat here to see what the 3-pointers are. Who did what?
And I told you before we started that the girl is 5'8", and she also had 2 block shots, and one of them was against one of our big girls. That girl is such a great athlete; she can jump too. So,
welcome back, Kyle.
Oh man, hate that crap when you're working on your internet. Trying to fix your internet. I think I probably just needed to update my computer or something.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this has happened to me before, where I got lost and got kicked out, and it was always an internet issue. I had to wait till my internet bounced back to me to get back in.
Okay, I was wrong. It was my computer that needed to be updated, not my internet. We're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then one night, my wife unplugged the internet box while we were on the air. She wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
She just looked at me like, "Are you telling that story?"
That was the night we had the guy. That was the night we had the UCLA guy on.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. So then,
do you want to give
Gray,
my take on
her first name? Yeah, we had Gray. She had 16 points, and that's about all she did. Nobody else really did anything, including Kane. Is it Kennedy Cambridge? Her sister.
She's just kind of a scrappy player. Never puts up much for her stats.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this.
Big tall girl did something.
5 players. Only 5 players scored tonight.
Yeah,
they're not going to win a lot of games that way. I don't know how they won as many games as they have.
Well, their third best player was injured and didn't play. So
anyway, Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Who are you talking to?
My future wife just gave me some pizza, so.
Oh, tell her I want some too. Send some my way.
Yeah, she ain't gonna send it all the way to Burbank, California, or wherever you're at in California.
Bakersfield. She can take a direct flight. She can take a direct flight into Bakersfield.
So I'll give you a little bit what I thought of the game, and then I'm gonna eat, and you guys just keep on going. Okay. So, McCabe injury, it really sucks. But a lot of girls came in, contributed off the bench. The one thing I didn't like is that we did not get back on transition. First half, Ohio State beat us 13-4. For the final set of the game, 15-8 on fast break points. That means our defense isn't getting back in transition and stopping them. So, but what I thought, they did a really good job spreading the floor. Everybody contributed. Offensive rebounds, we out-rebounded them. And Hayden stayed out of foul trouble. I was shocked.
Yeah.
So that is my take. I'm going to eat a little bit, so I'll let you guys do your thing.
Well, as far as Hayden staying out of foul trouble, I think what Jen's been doing is taking her out and giving her short rest, and putting in Layla Hayes. And I mean, Layla Hayes has got a lot to learn, but Jan trusts her enough to put her out there in the game when the game's on the line. So who am I to judge Layla being out there? But I think that what that's doing is giving Ava a little breather, because maybe when she's getting a little tired, that's when she gets a little clumsy and starts making fouls that she shouldn't, because she knows the fouls that she's making are dumb fouls. Shouldn't be making them. It's not like she's, in an upright position, standing straight up and trying to draw a charge. And so, but anyhow, that's my take. I
don't think Ohio State, they just had one big girl, and that big girl is not. Yeah, but that one big girl isn't really an offensive powerhouse. So Ava really didn't have to go overboard guarding her. That helped.
We kind of like between. I was gonna say between Ava, Hannah, and Layla Hayes. They did a pretty good job on her because their center only had 6 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. You want a little more production out of your center.
Yeah, but she did have her job is just trying to rim protect, and she did have like 5. She had like 5 blocks or something. She only averages like 6 points a game. That big tall girl.
Okay.
No, I did not. So everybody can answer that question.
What is the question?
Jason wanted to know if Kyle brought enough pizza for everybody.
You know, I wish, but I mean, I'm a little far away from Bakersfield, California, and Mechanicsville, Iowa. So you tell me.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, when's your wedding, by the way?
Hold on. July 11th. So
Okay.
7-Eleven. Do they have any 7-Elevens in Bakersfield, California?
They do.
No, but if you're rolling dice at the casino, call out 7-Eleven.
I'm not a big casino person, so you know.
Yeah,
Me
we have plenty of
either. I don't
7-Elevens here in Bakersfield. A ton of them.
We'll have instead of slushies, like you get at 7-Eleven, we're having wine slushies. So
Are you really?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Is it kind of like a 7-Eleven theme then the whole time?
Well, so there's 2 dates we were looking at. One was June 28th or whatever that Saturday is before 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a pretty big week for us as a work. And then she's like, well, what about 7-Eleven? I'm like, that's easy to remember. When people ask, hey, when's your wedding or anniversary? Hey, 7-Eleven.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Well, do you think we should get back to talking about the game?
Yeah. Dean, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think losing McCabe, if she's out for the season, how does that affect the success rate of Iowa for the season? More so like you get to the NCAA tournament, the Big Ten, we're one of the top teams in the Big Ten, period. But what do you think?
I think it affects us to a degree because we lost the senior on the floor. I mean, is she a high scorer? No, because, she's between 8, 9, 12 points a game. 12 being her high usually. So I'm not worried about the scoring aspect of her being there because Deal will pick up the slack. It probably means, although we didn't see it today, Journey Houston will get more minutes. We didn't see
Mulaney
that.
might play more.
Mulaney was in for 2 minutes, but you notice that as soon as she created that turnover, instead of shooting that three shot that she was wide open, she did an alley-oop, and, of course, the ball went out of bounds. So she didn't play again after that, so I think she might be trying too hard on the minutes that she does get.
Yeah. My comment was that I think that she obviously will get a few more minutes a game.
Yeah.
Because somebody has to.
Yeah. The thing I'm shocked is that if you're going to give somebody only 2 minutes a game, why not give it to one of the girls that have actually helped you out and been there in crunch time, like maybe Journey gets more minutes or Callie Levine, because Callie's been in and out of the lineup all year, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th game in a row she hasn't now not played.
But Tegan Mulaney has a whole year of experience of helping. Last year.
Yeah, she does.
She probably averaged like 8 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm. But
my thought is this though: what about Taylor Stremlow? She came off the bench. She had really good minutes, played some really good defense, had a couple points. That's just my thought.
But then somebody's got to make.
What she did today. Stremlow had 16 minutes and 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Yeah. She was 2 for 5 from 3-point land, which was very good. But then if Stremolo plays more, then somebody's got to make up Stremolo's backup minutes. It's all a chess thing,
Yeah.
Everybody,
Well,
somebody from the bench, whether it's Levine or Mulaney, are going to get a few more minutes a game, is what I'm saying.
Well, I think I thought you saw it today. Deal was the first one in to cover for her, and Deal made the best most of her minutes. She scored 21 points. 20 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds.
She had the hot hand.
Yeah, that's actually more productive offensively than we've got from Taylor. And Jason hit on this. Says it hurts on defense, and also the experience of being on the floor, not having Taylor there. But like he said, Deal will score more. And
I think Deal will continue to come off the bench. Some of the crazies on the internet, they go, "Oh, Addi will get her first start in California back home." Well, I would start Stremolo because Stremolo is solid.
Yes,
solid.
I agree.
Stremolo is one of the better top 4 defensive players on the team. She turns the ball over a little too much, but
I'll agree with you. That would be the third guard position that Stremolo would have had to play this year.
Yeah.
Play in the McCabe spot.
Yeah,
but the other thing too, that an article was written shortly after the game about I did not realize this, but whenever Deal played earlier this right before this game, it was taking McCabe's minutes, where McCabe would average about 28 minutes a game and Deal would average 14. She was playing in McCabe's spot. I did not notice that they were never playing together on the floor.
Yeah. But Iowa always plays with 3 guards. The 3 guard positions are pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah,
right. I agree. No, I agree.
Even the point guard position, the point guard in Iowa's system doesn't always bring the ball up the court. So.
Yep. Sounds good. Should we go over some of the other stats of the other girls today? How about chit chat, guys?
Go ahead. I'll eat.
How about chit chat, guys? 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 points. And she was at the free throw line ready to shoot the free throw after she made that 3-pointer. I never cringe when I see her going for a 3-pointer because she makes them, man. She don't miss a lot of them.
Nope.
And she's got more range than we thought, for a 5'4" girl. And man, she looked tiny walking around them, especially when she walked past that 6'6" girl. Oh my God. She was like, oh my God, there's almost a 1.5 difference between you guys. Anyway, okay, here we go. Alrighty. All right, we already talked about Hayden, 18 points and 8 rebounds. Stokey, 8 points, 18 points and 15 rebounds. Chit Chat, we already talked about her. Of course, McCabe's stats are all 0 because she was gone in the first 30 seconds of the game. Kylie Fierbach, 32 minutes, 1 rebound, 9 assists, and 8 points. But like I said, this one doesn't have the steals and blocks, but I think she had a block and a steal in there too, if I'm not mistaken. I should be writing these down during the game when I see them the way I see them. Layla Hayes with 10 minutes, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 points. It was nice to see her finally score because I think she's been held scoreless for a while. Because at one point she was averaging 12 points a game, but every game she didn't score. Her average came down. Mulaney got 2 minutes today. I was excited to see Mulaney out there. I kind of thought we might see her, given the situation. And we might get to see her more this week with more minutes against USC because this time they'll work with her a little bit. But 2 assists, no points. Strimlow, 16 minutes, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 points. Houston 13 minutes, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 points. Have you guys figured out that it seems like Journey is getting less and less playing time lately, or is that my imagination?
It's got to do with the matchup.
Okay.
You know,
Yep, I agree.
Like today, you didn't need a 5'9"
Nope.
or 5'10", however tall she is, 5'11" power forward, because Ohio State was so small. Jan wanted to keep 2 big people in there. So if Hannah or Ava went out, in came Layla Hayes.
Yep, it's all about matchups. I agree, 100%. That was a smart coaching thing that Jan did, and
yeah. Well, anyway, Jason agrees with both of you. He says it's all about matchups. Jason, I send you the link every podcast. I don't know why you just don't come on here and give us your stuff straight up. Alrighty. Of course, we talked about the deal already. Nobody else played, so we won't get into that. So anything else you guys want to talk about the game? I mean, we got time. I mean, it's not like
everybody on the team played good, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balance on the bench.
I didn't think we played an extremely smart game. I understood that Jan slowed down the game because we didn't want a fast-paced game against a 4-guard team.
Right.
But we let too many easy baskets for no reason. We missed. Hannah Stokey had 10 points in the first quarter, and that's a 40-point pace. And then we forgot all about her. It'd be like some girl, Addi or Stremlo would have the ball out on the outside, and Hannah would be wide open, 5 feet from the basket. Nobody around for 10 feet. Do you think they seen it? No. And they'd chuck up a 3. Thank God they made some of them, but
right.
I didn't think we played great. We were just Ohio State was just not in our league I don't think the Big Ten's that good other than UCLA this year. I really don't. Bunch of good teams, but not anybody we got to be afraid of.
After Iowa beat Ohio State, Vandy Chris, who everybody knows on here, is a Vanderbilt fan, but also he's kind of a guru with Iowa knowledge. Said so much for the Big Ten being deep. So I guess if Iowa beat Ohio State, I guess we're not a deep league because because Iowa was 9-0 now.
Did he mention unbeaten Vanderbilt getting beat by 50 points today by South Carolina?
He
did mention that, and his words were, "Vanderbilt's not ready."
Please, whenever I'm on a podcast, never say something untrue like Vandy's kind of a Hawkeye guru. He has proven on every podcast about Iowa that he doesn't know anything about Iowa. Period. I hate to be truthful, but it's the truth.
I'm like you are.
Well, it's the truth.
I like him on the show because
if I ask him to recite the backup defensive backs, the depth chart for Iowa, he couldn't do it. If I ask him who the third string safety is going to be next year, he wouldn't know. That's a Hawkeye guru.
Right.
Tell me the list of tell me who's on the walk-on roster for Iowa.
Yeah.
Jason
says I can't deny it. I won't deny it. But Jason will also say that he and I kind of get into it with him in our other chat group that we're in with him. I love it,
and I know
especially when him and Vandy get going so bad. I always tease him. I got my popcorn pop. I'm just sitting here, watching the fireworks.
but I do know the SEC is a way deeper, way better women's basketball conference this year.
Well,
we have one
here's-
power team in the conference, and pretty obviously the second best team in the conference is Iowa. I think we got a good team. I don't think anybody could write us in and say, "Oh yeah, they're a Sweet 16 team." You know,
You guys realize that I picked Iowa women to be 12-6 in the regular season in this league. We're at 9-0 right now. It might take us 4 games, but we're going to get to 12 wins in about 4 games because I figured we're going to beat USC and lose to UCLA.
One thing you have to say is if Maryland wouldn't have got obliterated with 5 girls being out for the season, Maryland would be a top 5, 8, 10 team. And they'd probably be a better team than Iowa.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also,
I try to be fair, but
also, they were saying today that you were talking about how bad Vanderbilt got blown out by South Carolina today. South Carolina was missing 3 starters today. That just tells you how deep and talented this team is that they can put their backups in and still win like that margin. Like if Iowa had to lose 3 starters, there's no way we're going to blow out an undefeated team.
That's the difference between Iowa, LSU, South Carolina, and UConn. I mean, their third string got people on their bench are McDonald's All-Americans.
Yeah,
and we have Addi Deal.
So
he's not wrong.
Yeah, in my Final 4 for women, I've got UCLA, UConn, and South Carolina. I haven't quite decided who my 4th team is, but as long as they put them in the correct bracket, it didn't matter because I got South Carolina and UConn in the title game with UConn coming out on top. What do you guys think of that?
I can see today, after South Carolina got upset by Oklahoma, I knew today Vandy was going to be in for it. Because the coach at South Carolina and the players at South Carolina were going to be teed off,
Right.
And they took it out on them, I'm sure.
But if
Oklahoma's a good team. Oklahoma might be that 4th team in the Final 4.
They could be, depending on where they're at in the bracket side, on what side of the bracket they are.
I like Vanderbilt. I like Texas.
Texas could be,
Texas and Vanderbilt are also good choices.
But other than Iowa going to the Final Four the first time with Caitlin, very seldom is there a bunch of very many surprise teams that get to the Final Four.
Right.
It's always them elite teams like UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice that we did not mention LSU as being a Final Four team. I don't even know what their season's going like right now, but they're traditionally a powerhouse. They're traditionally at least Elite 8.
LSU has lost like 1 game this year, Dean.
Okay. Yeah, I said I don't know, but I said, did you notice that none of us talked about them as being a Final Four team?
Here's another team.
Well, I didn't name a Final Four, but I said there were 3 teams in college basketball that were stacked: LSU, UConn, and South Carolina. That barrage girl that was a top 8 girl in the country that played with Journey Houston, and she is better than Journey Houston. She don't get to play much at LSU, So
here's another thing. With all these teams we're mentioning, there is one team that I think we forgot way over the years that started to be really, really good, and that was Tennessee when they had Pat Summitt as their coach.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
They pretty much went to the Final Four. They must pretty much went to the Final Four every year for 25 years.
Yeah. And I think last year, they ran Iowa off the court. They ran Iowa off the court in a non-conference game.
Right.
No, but
Pat Summitt's got a really good book.
But Miss Summitt don't coach there anymore, and Tennessee is no longer in the elite.
Yeah, Pat Summitt. I think she passed away quite a few years ago. I think they got a statue for her too I'm
sure they do.
Yeah.
See, the
Yeah,
same thing will
her-
happen to when the coach at UConn retires. The same thing will happen. The new coach might be able to keep it going for a few years if they don't lose all of her players, lose
I
all
think
the
it might be
players.
their
The transfer
assistant that will
portal.
take over Gino's spot.
Who's that?
isn't,
I didn't hear what you
isn't
said.
isn't this Gino's last year?
I don't know. I haven't
He
heard
didn't.
anything.
Did he announce?
He hasn't. I
Didn't
don't
he
think he
announce?
has.
Didn't he announce? Didn't he announce it yesterday?
I don't know. I didn't
thought
see
I
if he
sent.
did or
I
not.
thought I sent it to you. I thought I sent it to you guys. It was put out, and I thought, who's putting this out? Because I thought maybe it ain't true, But I think it was ESPN or somebody, and I sent it
I'll have
out.
to look. I'll have to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I want to give out a shout out to Collector's Dream. He says, please like and subscribe to this great show. I appreciate your support. I wish I knew who you were because I love the support you're giving the show.
Collector's Dream is his name.
Yeah, Collector's Dream with the Z.
Cool.
Okay, Hackwell says LSU is 18-2. Okay. With losses to Kentucky and Vanderbilt. So they've lost a couple of good teams. Solid teams. Iowa's also 18-2 with losses to one good team, and the other team was decent at that time. But we won't mention that we got home cooked on in that loss. We should have won that game against Iowa State. We should be with only one loss right now.
I'll tell you this: in that Iowa State game, Addi Crook should have had 4 fouls right away because she hooked us every time trying to get the ball down low. When she tried to get position, she hooked us all the time.
Yeah, I think Crooks is starting to wear out as the season went on because in those games I watched that they lost, all she did was stand around. Players were going around her. They were going around her. She wasn't even trying. She wasn't hustling, getting back. And against Iowa, she was doing it all. And like you said, the referees let her get away with everything she wanted to do. And to that point, a lot of teams were like that.
There for a while yesterday, Iowa State playing Arizona, it was 5 players against 4 because Arizona had so many players foul out.
Did they?
Jeez.
I'm going to guess Iowa State won that game.
Yeah, like 90-40 or something.
Yeah, it was bad.
Arizona State that bad, or they just because they were?
I think it was Arizona.
Okay.
Not Arizona State. Another team that's making a run in the Southeast Conference is Katie Abramson, who played at Iowa. She's a coach at Georgia, and Georgia's won a bunch of games in a row, and they upset Jenny Bransick in Oklahoma before Bransick played South Carolina, and then they had another upset. Who the heck did they upset? Like yesterday or something. But so Georgia's only got 3 losses, and they're like 18-3 now. But
so did those 2 girls play together on the same Iowa team? Jenny
what 2
and
girls?
Katie? Jenny and Katie.
Katie played before. I'd say that was long before Molly Tidebeck at Iowa.
Oh,
she'd have played in like 87, 88. I think she was from Cedar Rapids, Washington, and she went to Georgia to play. Like Molly went to UCLA, and then she played 1 year and got homesick and came up and played for Vivian.
Yeah,
Stringer.
I think by the time Molly got to Iowa, it was 1990 or 91.
That was when we went to the Final Four, right?
Yeah, but that was her senior year, 1993.
I know.
So yeah. Okay, so it was 1990 when she got to Iowa. Alrighty, let's talk about a little bit about their next opponent, USC. Okay, USC. I believe they won today, right, against Wisconsin. No, that was the men.
No, that was the man. That was the men upset Wisconsin.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't know why USC would be an upset. Alrighty,
no,
so
I told you it was the men.
Yeah. Right now, the women are only averaging 68.9 points a game, 39 rebounds, 15.9 assists per game. but they said this is over 15 games. So, they got their key performers include Jazzy and Davidson, 16 points a game, 16 rebounds a game. 6 rebounds a game. Kennedy Smith averages 3.7 assists per game. The team is shooting 40% from the field, 30 from the 3-point range.
Those are 2 WNBA players right there. Kennedy Smith and Jazzy and whatever.
I'm going to judge by their record that they may not. They may be the only real players on that team. Then, what do you think?
I don't know. I texted you who they played today, but I don't remember who it was.
Okay,
I know.
before today's game,
Minnesota actually, blew out Wisconsin, like doubled their score today, like 90-50 or something. So Minnesota's over Wisconsin in women.
Okay, if somebody out there could find out who USC played today,
I'm working on it as we speak.
Okay, alrighty. But anyway, as of this morning,
Michigan played USC. Michigan beat them 73-67.
Okay, so now
Kennedy Dunn had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals.
Got it. Actually, You know what? I actually took a screenshot of all that. I have it right here. I forgot I did that. Anyway, okay. So let me say this real quick.
Thank you, Kyle.
USC.
I got it.
USC is 11-9 and 3-6 in the conference right now. Considering what they did last year and who they had coming back originally, I kind of thought that they would actually do better than that. Okay. So if you really want to know, outside of Jazzy Davidson, who's obviously the leader in this team.
Kennedy Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy Smith is only their 4th best player according to this stat-wise. Kara Dunn is their 2nd top player. She's averaging, I don't even know, I hate the way they do this. She's averaging 14 points, okay. Jazzy in 16 points, 14 points for Kara. 11 points for
Kennedy.
Nope, that's 10 for her. Landon Jones has got 11. And then there's a drastic drop off after that. It goes down after the first 4. It goes down to 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0.
Yeah, Calvin was right. Georgia beat 11th ranked Kentucky 72-67.
They're on a roll.
That Morgan girl for Kentucky had 10 points and 12 assists. The girl from Georgia had 19 points, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds.
So, if you guys want to...
That girl for Georgia might have been a teammate of Chit Chat last year. About the whole Georgia Tech team transferred, and Georgia got their best player. And we got Chit Chat.
I'm glad we got Chit Chat, man. I am so happy that she's everything and more than I had hoped she would be.
Oh, for
Me
sure.
too.
I think we'll never know about Emily because, she hurt her back and we'll never know what kind of a player she could have been for us.
We'll
okay,
see.
so I just want to compare USC and Iowa on common opponents. I don't remember what we lost to UConn, what the final score was, but UConn beat USC 79-51. There's a common opponent. We haven't played. We did beat Nebraska, right? We did. They beat Nebraska also 74-66.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. They lost to UCLA, which everybody in the conference is 80-46. They lost to Oregon, but we beat Oregon 71.
That's insane.
What?
That's insane of a score. Oh man, he might as well even show up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, they lost to Oregon. We beat Oregon 71-66. They lost to Minnesota 63-62. We haven't played Minnesota yet, have we? They're coming up after. I think they're coming up after the end of this tough run that we're currently on.
That's a game that we will miss McCabe if McCabe is really hurt as bad as what you hear.
Yeah.
Because against Minnesota, they're like 12 deep, and you need all your players.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's where Callie might get a few minutes then off the bench. Because I'm advocating for minutes for Callie.
I know that, and I would expect Callie to get a chance.
Right.
Callie's got to play really. She's a really good athlete. She got to play really good defense, not turn the ball over, and hopefully she develops some type of shot. But
okay, alrighty, and then they lost to Maryland 62-55. We beat them. They beat Purdue 83-57. And they lost to Michigan State 74-68. So just judging by common opponents and Big Ten opponents here, I think our Iowa women should win this game without any problem. But they're on the road. They're on the West Coast. And you never know because we saw what happened when they went on the road against Northwestern. That was probably one of the ugliest games we'll ever play.
That was during flu week.
Yep, that was during flu week.
That's like that was the week. The same week. That's the worst the Iowa men's going to look all year.
I think that's the same week the men lost to Minnesota.
Well, we lost 2 games. I can't remember. Oh, and we played Purdue right down to a final shot. But we had the flu that day.
Yeah. So does that mean if we play Purdue in Iowa City, we should beat them fully healthy?
I would think that'd be a nip and tuck game,
Okay.
So, as far as the women, the only game that I think that we are not going to be favored in, obviously, is at UCLA. We'll probably be like a 11-point underdog or something. And UCLA is the type of game that could be like a UConn game, or who knows? We could win it.
Yeah. But Jason's pointing out that it is an 8 p.m. game at night against USC. I want to point out that where I live, it's only 6 p.m., so it's an early game for me. Sorry, guys.
Must be nice.
Are you playing? Are you playing, Dean? Or
yeah, I'm gonna go play.
I think that was Jason's point that it's going to be kind of a late night for the girls, But
yeah, true. It's true, but it'd be 8 p.m. I mean, I don't know. It's usually about an hour later than they're used to playing.
When Jason is saying 8 p.m., is that Iowa time or California time?
I think
Iowa time.
Central time. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. California time. It's 6 o'clock at our time here.
Yeah, so it's gotta be
I've seen some of these West Coast games come on BTN, and they freaking come on at 9:30 or something. And it's like, what?
So then it's like 8 or 9 or whatever. Yeah, 8 p.m. here. So
I got to tell you what, these TV networks and the Big Ten have got to get together when these West Coast teams are traveling and when we're traveling out to the West Coast to make sure that we have a fair balance time-wise. It's not fair to send out an Iowa team or any team from the Midwest or East Coast and make them play like an 8 p.m. game California time.
Hey, you play to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is it fair? Is it fair? Is it fair, especially if Wisconsin, like, is USC on the road before this game? Were they at Michigan?
I don't know.
I didn't know if
they were at Michigan.
Okay.
They'll probably stay out here. They will
stay out here for the UCLA game. Yes. That's what the men did last year. They stayed out there.
Yeah. So
that would be smart if they.
being in the Big Ten is really much more unfair in basketball for the West Coast teams than it is for these teams in the Midwest and East Coast, because they got to make a lot more trips east than the Big Ten teams only have to make probably,
half of
Okay,
it.
let me ask you this. Okay, you said that the USC men upset Wisconsin today. Their next game is Wednesday night against Iowa. Did they go to Wisconsin or did Wisconsin come to them?
I don't know.
Who was the home team for that?
I'm
I don't
working
know.
on it. I'm working
I
on it.
concentrate. You know me, I concentrate on Iowa. I try to watch every team in the Big Ten, like the women, because I want to know their rosters and everything before we play them.
Right.
That's why I pretty much knew that we were going to go 2-0 this week. And now I don't have to make an apology, do I, Dean?
Nope.
USC was right.
I guaranteed 2 wins this week.
Okay, this is what question I want to ask. Okay, because Michigan was at home. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
USC was at Wisconsin. USC won 73-71.
Okay, does that mean, in your opinion, that what USC would come into Iowa City Wednesday night, that they should probably stay in Wisconsin or Iowa
For
until
sure.
game time rather than go back home to the East Coast?
Yes.
But that's a lot of days in between.
Yeah, but that you would fly. So say you get done to the game tonight or today, then they would probably fly if they wanted to. They could have flown out tonight, got to Los Angeles. Then you had to hop back on a plane to come to the Midwest, which would be totally stupid.
Yeah, on Tuesday.
My thing is they would stay in Wisconsin or Madison and then drive down to Iowa City and then fly back after that.
Or they could just fly into Cedar Rapids and take a hotel in Cedar Rapids.
Either way. Yeah, either way.
And make arrangements with Carver Hawkeye Arena people to practice at Carver Hawkeye.
A lot of teams would go do their shoot-arounds or their practice like at Kirkwood or something. And,
something close. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times you don't use the universe. You get to do a shoot-around like the night before at Carver Hawkeye Arena or something. But anyway.
Okay. So you guys,
are we going to stay on women's basketball yet, or?
Yeah, I just want to go over their standings real quick. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we know that both Iowa and UCLA are tied at 9-0. Ohio State, they're still listed at number 3 at 7-2 instead of jumping Michigan over them at 8-1. I don't understand that. Michigan should be number 3. Michigan State 7-2. Washington's 5-3. Illinois 5-4. Hey, I can't wait for that game and play Aaliyah Guyton. That's going to be a fun game.
That Guyton girl's really good for Illinois.
And she hadn't been healthy. She hadn't been healthy this year.
No.
She finally started. She started a game the other day, but I watched it. She ain't. It's not the same Aaliyah. She just
right.
So
100%. 100%. I agree.
Okay, and Maryland's also 5-4. Wisconsin's 5-5. Minnesota's 5-4. Nebraska, this surprises me, 4-5 in league. USC actually surprised me at 6-3. Oregon 6-3. Purdue 3-6. And then the bottom teams are Northwestern 2-7, Rutgers 1-7, Indiana 0-9, and Penn State 0-9.
See, I think after this West Coast swing, we start playing teams on the bottom side of the Big Ten, I think.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think starting with Oregon, that was the 6-game stretch that people were worried about. And I believe we're now 4-0 in that 6-game stretch because the next 2 games are USC and UCLA that we were concerned about. And I believe they come home, and I think they go to Minnesota or something when they come home.
I thought Washington ain't in there. It don't matter. I mean, we don't need to.
He's going to check for us.
We need to know. Need to know who we're playing this week, really.
Yeah. The thing is, we got Washington at home, and they're not having quite the season. But you know.
Yep. Calvin was right. We go at USC on Thursday. On Sunday is at UCLA. Home against Minnesota, and then home against Washington on February 11th. So
Okay.
Calvin was
Yeah,
right.
Minnesota and Washington Minnesota's a real good team, and Washington's a good team. You know, unless somebody's injured or something. But
Yeah. I just want to point out, Cyhawk says Guyton struggles this year. Cyhawk also says, who does Iowa start against USC? Deal or Strimlo? Maybe Strimlo to keep the pressure off of Deal going home.
Yep.
I think we all decided here earlier. You missed it earlier, Cyhawk. We did decide that Strimlo would be the better option here.
Be smart. I agree with Kelvin and I's, saying about Deal coming off the bench. Just leave her be. Just let her come off the bench. Let her do her thing.
Yeah. No, and I actually agree with that, guys. I wouldn't even thinking anything different. I actually thought it was kind of funny that instead of bringing Strimlo out right away, though, that they brought Deal out first.
Well, again, when you had 16 or 18 points the last game, she had the hot hand. So
she is.
She's the hot hand coming off the bench.
Yeah, I just don't like it when she dribbles into traffic. It scares me.
I just know that if Ben McCollum was coaching Iowa women's basketball, Addi Deal wouldn't play much because she can't guard nobody. She can't guard nobody right now. I'm sure she's going to be real good in time. Like Taylor McCabe became a really, really good defensive player, and to begin with, she was nothing, So.
Right. Deal's got to let the game come to her. And I agree with on the defensive side. The offense is there. We all know she could score. It's that she has to play defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, we'll talk about the men's upcoming game on Tuesday night.
Well, you guys will, because I have a game to call. So
yeah, we will.
Well, we won't have to sit around and watch you frickin' eat then.
Yeah, I can smell your pizza all the way over here.
I love you guys. I like when you give me crap and I can dish it back. I love that.
All righty.
I learned over the years when someone gives you crap and you dish it back, they know they like you. So we're good on that.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Cyhawk has added another comment. Let me read that real quick. Deal has to stop dribbling into trouble. She's coming along. Deal had some decent defensive plays today. Would you guys agree with that?
I've seen her dig a ball away at one point, but
that was kind of sweet.
I seen her steal. I think she had one or two steals, but no, I didn't see very, very good defense from her.
I agree. I second that. And I watched the whole game this time.
She's the best shooter on the team.
Yeah. She can light it up.
She can make reverse layups. She can make a 3-foot shot. She can make a 6-foot shot, an 8-foot shot, a 10-foot shot, 12-foot shot, 15-foot shot, and on out to 30 feet. There ain't very many girls that can do that.
Well, she's actually done a good job. Yeah.
Chit Chat can. I don't think Chit Chat wants to shoot a lot of 2-foot shots if anybody's on her, but
nope.
But
no. And Chit Chat has the longest straight up 3-point shot of the season. Even Caitlin didn't shoot a half court one and make it go.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, backing about when you're talking about Addi.
I tell you that.
Yeah. But anyway, talking about Addi, Jason just wants to say facts, Calvin, facts. Okay.
He called me fat?
No, he said facts.
Oh my God.
I know what he said. That's because my title under my thing is supposed to say fax machine.
Oh.
I thought it was funny. It said that for the last 3 or 4 shows. So.
Yeah, you know what the funny part about it is you actually have a sense of humor I never knew about. I'm starting to learn it. It's kind of a dry humor.
I don't like saying shit about myself, but I was like the class clown. And I'm like a one-liner comes out of my mouth every 10 seconds. So anyway.
Okay. All right. Cyhawk says Addi and Chit Chat have the best shot mechanics on the team. Absolutely agree.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely. Calvin, I got a question. Since you played basketball in high school, did you have anybody that shot or knew anybody on the team that you knew of that had no arc on their shot or no rotation on the ball?
No rotation, yeah, Ronnie Lester, but no arc. I've never seen a good shooter that had no arc on their shot. That
You've
would
had
be
a
almost
girl,
impossible.
right.
But
You
I
had a
did
girl
not
in high
play high school. I did not
Okay.
play high school basketball. I was a 5'9" post in 7th grade, and I
Okay.
never
Okay.
grew at all. I ended up going from playing center to being a point guard, and my last year I
right.
tried to keep playing into my sophomore year, but I was just too darn short,
Right.
But
We had
I
a
was
girl.
I was a tremendous shooter. Terrible
good.
defense. I was worse than Addi Deal. I mean, way worse than Addi Deal.
Okay. Anyway,
as far as defense.
I am shocked.
Cyhawk has a question for you guys. Is
Yeah.
Jan on the hot seat for not hanging 100 points on Ohio State today?
No. A
Is
win's
that
a
like
win.
is that like a serious question?
I don't know.
You scored
No.
90 some points against the number 12 team in the country.
Yeah. Maybe he's going by the fact that at halftime we were on a 100-point pace.
That could be it,
I
but
just-
no.
that'd be crazy. But
Yeah.
There we go. He's playing around with
Yeah,
us.
you
He's
better
playing around
be.
with-
Because if you think about it, now if we started losing games like that, I wouldn't see Jan on the hot seat. This is only her second year. Everybody's got to give her time to.
it's she's got one of the probably top 5 starts in the history of Iowa women's basketball.
She's
Yeah.
already in 2 years.
18 and 2 or 19 and 2. I don't know what they are after today, but
18 and 2. But no, but at her 2-year career so far that showed her thing, she's like 750 winning percentage right now. How can you argue with that for a 2-year coach? And her team's
but other than Angie Lee, she got the best talent handed to her. It ain't like when Lisa Bluter come and took over a team that won 9 games a year before. Vivian Stringer come and took over a program where they'd win three games a year.
I wonder if I should bring Angie Lee on after a women's game.
Well, I told you that she was so awesome.
What year did she play at Iowa?
She didn't.
She played before Vivian. She played before Vivian, and then her senior year or sophomore year, she finished at Iowa under Vivian. Her junior or senior year, and then she became an assistant for Vivian.
And then when Vivian left, she took over the team. She had the team for 5 years before Lisa Bluter took over.
Okay. Okay.
And her first year at Iowa, she had a lot of talent, and she was National Coach of the Year. I think they went literally, it was like a Tom Davis record, like 30-4, 28-5.
Yeah, that's a Dr. Tom record. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That was Tom's first year. That was Tom's first year when he was handed his NBA roster, and then he never came close after that. But
right.
Yeah, that's just too bad because we came with, oh my God, we should have gone to the Final Four that year. That year that UNLV came back from behind 21 down and beat us, or 22 down and came back and beat us.
You're talking about Tom's year,
yeah. But anyhow, I was just going to go back and say that Angie Lee's first 3 teams were winning teams. They had winning records. Her last 2 teams were losing records, but she was not fired. She chose to step away to do something else away from basketball. And she's still doing that today, if I'm remembering right.
I think she's at Wisconsin lacrosse or someplace up there.
Okay. Jerry Wright said that Raveling was the recruiting genius, but couldn't coach. He got some great players.
Roy Marble, Tom Davis's first few games he coached was up at the Great Alaskan Shootout, and Iowa won the darn thing, which was a big deal. The Great Alaskan Shootout was the #1 preseason, start of the season tournament in the country. And Roy Marble, the Cedar Rapids Gazette, Roy Marble come up to the reporter and says, "Oh my God, We finally got a guy that can coach. So,
Oh my God, that's great. That's great.
That's funny.
Raveling was really, really bad. He had Kevin Gamble, who was an NBA guard, playing post, and he had Kent Hill, who had no guard skills, playing off guard.
Yeah.
It was like crazy to see what he was
Gary
doing.
Wright's
Anyway, go ahead.
Didn't Gary Wright have a nickname?
Sir Jamalot.
Jamalot. Yeah. So
how tall was
Sir
he?
Jamalot. That was his nickname in high school. And he went to USC his first year, and then he transferred to Iowa.
Okay. So it was
How
either
tall was,
Raveling's first or second. I was going to tell you guys a story real quick. It was either Dr. Tom's first or second year at Iowa. They brought their team to Long Beach to play in a tournament, and we got to go watch that game right beside the Queen Mary. And I was still on the Iowa television network at the time, and Bob Hogue was still doing the games. And so I walked past him when he was on the air at halftime, and I go, "Oh my!" You guys remember his thing every time they shoot and score?
Yeah, Bob Hogue. He used Dick Enberg's "Oh my" as his moniker, and they lost in that tournament to California St. Mary's.
I thought they won.
Nope, they lost the tournament, and St. Mary's also upset Michigan that year. It was the year Michigan won the national title, so it was. Is
that the Fab 5 year?
It was Ed Horton's senior year. It'd be Tom's third year, I think. But
that was the Fab 5 year that Michigan won?
No, that was long before the Fab 5.
Okay. That's all I remember is the Fab 5 from Michigan. So,
the Fab 5 was around in like 1990s, early 90s.
That was when Chris Street died. When Chris Street died, the Fab 5 was around. The Glenn Rice and them won the national championship, which the Fab 5 never did.
Yeah, that makes okay. Yeah, because I was like I said, Chris Street's my all-time favorite player at Iowa. So because that's all I remember.
You guys are lucky because
basketball.
I was living out here in California when he played for Iowa, so I never really got to see him play.
Oh.
And going back to that Long Beach tournament, if they did lose that tournament to that team you're saying, then that means the game I watched was the first game of that tournament because they won the game that I went to. Because it was Sir Jamalot.
Do you remember who they played?
Gary Wright.
Do you remember who they played?
The Long Beach State.
The shot.
Well, if Jerry Wright was playing in it, it was Tom's first year.
Okay, I said it was either his first or second year.
Jerry only played 1 year for Tom, and he missed the first half of the season because he broke his wrist. And he played the second half of the season with his cast on his wrist.
I'll have to go back and check out my facts then. I need to check out my facts because who else did they have on that team that was dunking a lot? Because I thought it was Jerry Wright dunking all the time in that game.
Well, it had to be Tom's first year. I thought you were talking about that other California tournament they played in a year or two later, but anyway.
No, I knew it was either the first or second year because we just moved to California. We were still living in our first home in California, and my best friend, who was also from Iowa, was living across the street at the time, and he and I drove to the airport, picked up his parents from the airport, and then we drove straight to the game at Long Beach.
If you've seen Jerry Wright play in that game, it was the first year, and they did win because they won their first 17, 18 games that year. Didn't lose until they played Ohio State at home about the end of January.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I seriously thought that. That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, because then I believe it was Ohio. Was it Ohio State that took away our undefeated season?
Yep, Dennis Hobson scored like 32 points. And the reason they beat us was nobody in the Big Ten was used to playing against Tom Davis's press and the way he played. But Ohio State that year was coached by Gary Williams, who was Tom Davis's ex-assistant. And so they knew how to break Tom's press. They knew what was coming all the time, and they upset Iowa probably by 6-7 points. Dennis Hobson scored 32, 34 points. Of course, Dennis Hobson was an NBA player, but
Ohio State has I was just going to say real quick, Ohio State has a habit of knocking us off undefeated #1 perch. They also did it in football probably the year earlier. Was it the 85 team that was #1? No, it was not, because I was in California when they got knocked off the perch.
Chuck Long was #1.
85, yep.
We beat Michigan, and then later in the season, in a torrential downpour, we lost to Ohio State. We lost our #1 ranking in football.
Yeah.
Other than that, Iowa's never been ranked since we're old enough to remember. Iowa's never been ranked #1 in football. Period.
I don't think so. No. And
we were ranked number two at one point.
We're number 2. We were number 2 when we beat Penn State there a few years ago in 2021.
so Long Beach State, we're called the 49ers, but now they represent the teams that represent California State University. So I did not know that.
Yeah, that's the same league that Cal State Bakersfield's in. If you go by their official name, it's Cal State University of Bakersfield, but they like to go by CSUB.
The game I was talking about where we lost in California, we lost to California St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a team that all they did was shoot 3-pointers, and they must have hit 48% of them, and they beat us like 102-92 or something like that. And they did the same thing to Glenn Rice and his Michigan team the same season. So it wasn't a fluke.
So with shooting threes, Grinnell College, that's all they do is shoot threes. They rarely shoot a 2-point shot. Or Grinnell, yeah, man. That's where
Lisa Bluter's boy and Addi Deal's brother play.
Yeah, all I do is shoot threes. They don't shoot, they don't get to the free throw line. They just chuck up threes. And one of those games was on ESPN.
And they average like 124, 5, 8 points a game.
It's insane. Because I remember watching them on ESPN a long time ago. I'm like, what? Grinnell, Iowa? No way. Yeah.
Okay, so Cyhawk says Marv Cook fell 1 yard short of the end zone. I believe that's on the 1985 loss to Ohio State.
Half a yard short if they had a replay. He'd be a half a yard short, and Iowa would have had to scramble. I don't know if Iowa had a timeout yet or not, but I think we'd have scored on the next play if the clock didn't. Yeah. What's next on the agenda, Dean?
Hang on for a second. Raz Mekyakamazakamazi. I can't even say his name, but he said he's the first-time watcher, and he's very intrigued. Okay, thank you. We appreciate that.
Cool.
Go ahead and hit that, smash that subscription button and hit like. Okay, we appreciate it. Okay, honestly, that's all I really had for the day because
we weren't going to talk about we weren't going to mention the men at all. We didn't have any portal. We didn't have any portal news, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wasn't anything happened since.
Yeah. Nope.
And I get to talk about the wide receiver. I get to talk about the wide receiver room.
Yes, you did. You asked talk about that. So since we're on football, let's go ahead and do that.
I'll do it, and then you guys can chime in with what you think the wide receiver room's going to be. I have no clue. To me, it looks like this cluster of maybe.
Agree.
And anyway, we have 6 walk-ons. 2 sophomores, Jackson Nave, who LeVar Woods says is going to be probably the kick returner. He compared him to Wetjet.
fast. Yeah, he's
And
fast.
then the guy that I really like in the portal, who is also a walk-on, is Diaz's best buddy, Beagley. Boy, I love this kid's tape. I wouldn't be surprised if he surprises. Another walk-on, a redshirt Frosh, who I'm high on. Trent Condon thinks he's going to play, is Apollo Payne. He's from Cedar Rapids Prairie, and he's like 6'2", 215 pounds. And he's got huge hands, but he's a walk-on. And there's another walk-on fresh. Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
Then there's another walk-on freshman named Stecker. I'm going to do mine, and then you guys can run down through what you guys think. Then we have true freshman walk-on, Dean Oliver's boy, and then Robbins. And both of them are very good. This is the best group of walk-on wide receivers I've ever seen at Iowa. Now, we're going to go to the scholarship wide receivers. I foresee we got four guys who have played for Iowa before. KJ Park played some, dropped too many passes. He's a sophomore. We got 3 juniors. Of course, Vander Zee is wide receiver 1. I don't care what anybody says about this Diaz kid transferring in or anything. Vander Zee is proven Big Ten.
Yeah, he's
bowl game, big play guy. And then we got a guy who did not play last year, but was kind of impressing the year before as a redshirt freshman, Bowie. And he had a leg injury last year that would not, a soft tissue orthopedic problem in his leg. And he's back this year, and we'll see if he's a big guy. All 3 of our juniors, Howard, Bowie, and Vander Zee, are big guys that are great blockers. All of them got great hands. Young Howard, he's never dropped a pass. He's like 6'5", 220 pounds. So I like them 3. I think them 3 are going to be in your top 6. I don't care who else is on the team. And then the softs are, other than KJ Parker, are 2 transfers, Evan James, and then Diaz, who was supposedly, Alabama wanted him, and he's great. I've looked at James and Diaz's tapes. I don't see much difference in them. They're about the same size. I know one thing. James never drops a pass. I like that. I don't like receivers who drop passes. Then we have one redshirt freshman who had problems at Iowa's first year. He was like a 4-star. Terrence Smith from the Chicago area. But he had problems off the field at Iowa with trying to become a college student and be serious. He's kind of like George Kittle. George Kittle was a problem. He was a problem until he was like a junior. But anyway, Terrence Smith, hopefully they straighten him up. And then we got 3 freshmen. DeAndre Smith from Florida, who I like. Xavier Stinson from Florida, who I love. 6'2", 200 pounds, fast. I think he's going to play. And then we got the Schaefer kid from Wisconsin, who Tyler Barnes says he's Cooper DeJean. I don't know if he really is. So I just foresee them three juniors. If Bowie's healthy, I think all 3 of them will be in those top 6 wide receivers. And I presume that Diaz probably, and Stinson, and then, hopefully Parker quits dropping passes. Right. Because he's a good blocker for the little guy. And that's kind of my rundown of the wide receiver room guys take over. So
I like what you said about that Schaefer kid. Wide receiver, 6'1", 184 from Wisconsin. He does move very well in the run. And I saw that he lines up on on safety on defense or a corner on defense, and he makes plays out of nowhere. Comes flying in from the one side. Watch his tape. DeAndre Smith, like you said, he's hard to bring down. As I could see him as a kick returner, punt returner. Could be, but I mean, you never know. But then he lined up on defense, on offense. He lined up on both sides. I was like, wow, he can catch. He can run after the catch for being 5'10", 150. So, I mean, the guys you mentioned, the ones I actually watched a little bit of tape on Huddle. So, Dean's got his info too. So, I'm liking that as well.
Alrighty. I was
yes, I did my homework. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did. You guys did good. Both of you. Seahawk says he put on RVZ and then you just happened to mention him right after that. But did you guys see his profile picture? Who his profile picture is? Can you see that? Nope. It's Kirk. So it's Kirk under a synonym. You know what they call that? It's Kirk. Coming on as Seahawks. He's going to give us the inside take.
Yeah. If it was Kirk, they'd ask him, well, who's going to play wide receiver? And he'd say, I don't know. It's going to be a competition. And he'd say, that's up to Lester and Budmeyer.
Bingo.
Who plays? Yeah.
Did you guys should watch that? It's super funny. We did a podcast, Jason Paul and I did, where we did a mock news conference with Kirk being Jason was Kirk and Paul was Brian, and it was so funny because they hit them both right on the money, and I just played the narrator guy, and it was one of the funniest episodes we ever did because we didn't have anything else going on that week, so we decided to do a new mock conference. It was funny. It was good. It was original.
Always love it. And I make fun of people who say that Kirk really gives such boring answers to questions. And then I'll throw them a video of Nick Saban answering questions. And he gives the same answers Kirk does all the time. We got to get to practice, work on discipline, be in the right position defensively. We got to block and tackle.
Yeah,
because that's what a real football coach says. A real football coach don't talk about 7-on-7 and all that stuff. They talk about real football.
Yeah, it was nice. And then in Beth's interview, I mean, I was refreshing to hear her say that we won a national championship, and I think she said she said I won a championship and a playoff spot is what she said. She says that was the football team's goal, and that was the coaches and players' goal. But there are some people who would like to hear it directly from Kirk.
Kirk has answered that question for 27 years. But the people that don't like him never listen. Because he always says our goal is to win every game.
Yeah, win every game.
If you win every game, what are you going to do?
You're going to win the national championship.
You're going to win the national championship. It's like, Kirk never mentions winning. It's like, Jesus. So, anyway.
Well, they go 1-0.
So did you guys, Dean, did you have any comment on who you thought might be our top 4 or 5 wide receivers, or do you even have an opinion? Or
okay, my top receivers are Vander Zee, KJ Parker, Dayton Howard, and Bowie if he's healthy. Okay, that's my top 4. Other than that, I don't know where we're going with receivers after that.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, the true freshman Xavier Stimson, if he brings it into college and goes to class like he's supposed to and everything, you're going to see something there, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Now that we're talking about some Kirk stuff, Cyhawk C Money says Kirk's keywords are January, complimentary football, seniors, spring ball, fall camp, leadership, and win every game one game at a time.
He's not wrong. I mean, that's spot on.
Yeah. I would love to beat the Kirk that's away from football that's supposed to be really funny guy and everything, and kind of funny, kind of
I know a lot. I know a lot of people.
down.
A lot of people that know him. I know a lot of people that know him, and they just said he's the guy you want as your neighbor. You know, just a very. He cares about your kids. He cares about what's happening with you. He talks to you, remembers everybody's names and all that shit. So
at 70 years old, I don't know how he does that.
What he is. He is.
I forget people's names. I'll remember faces, but I can never remember names. You know,
I'm getting a little bit better at that down here. I'll tell you that.
I told my lawyer the other day that I was going to do a wide receiver room thing, and I kept saying, I think Watson's had a good year, and he's gonna be one of the starters. And he goes, "Who the hell's Watson?" Here I was calling Howard Watson all the time. That's how bad my mind was. I said Watson.
He's talking about Jalen Watson,
big kid out of Kansas. I had it screwed up. I said the big guy out of Kansas that didn't have any offers, and Tyler Barnes decided that he's good enough. I couldn't get the name right because my brain's fried. So,
all right, let's give the guys the people a rundown listening right now. We've got a few on here. That Tuesday night we will preview the men's game and probably talk some more men's hoops and gosh darn it, I'm sorry, and then probably preview the women's game as well. That's on Sunday or Saturday. Thursday. I'm sorry.
Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah, Thursday. Okay.
Both teams have 2 games.
Yeah.
This week. So
we're gonna try to do a complete rundown and kind of like go deep dive into these games. So on Wednesday night we will come back after the men's game and talk a little men's hoops, and then Thursday night we'll come back and talk a little women's hoops. Okay. And then we'll probably just wait until Sunday and cover them both. We'll cover them both on Sunday night.
Yeah, I really truly believe the men will win both games. We play USC and then we go to Oregon. I think the Oregon team is kind of decimated by injuries. So yeah. I'm not gonna guarantee anything, but I guarantee 2 wins.
Guys, you want to know while we're still here, can I share the men's standings?
Fire away.
Okay. All right. Now, guys, any truth to the rumor that Nebraska is now number 1 in the country nationwide? Have you heard that?
I don't think so, because I think Arizona is probably still number 1.
Okay. Well, anyway, as everybody knows,
and I don't think UConn lost this week.
Well, they won in overtime against Villanova.
Yeah. So I think Nebraska.
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, Nebraska's 9-0 in the conference at number 1. Michigan 8-1. Michigan State 8-1. Illinois surprisingly 8-1. I didn't see that coming. Purdue 7-2. So they're not as good as they were.
Well,
Wisconsin,
Illinois beat Purdue.
Yeah, and then we got Wisconsin at 6-3. Ohio State 5-4. Iowa at 4-4. Indiana at 4-5. USC at 4-5. Minnesota 3-6. Washington 3-6. That just bugs the crap out of me that we lost to Minnesota and they're only 3-6. Dude, please. If you're not going to have a decent record, please don't go out and lose games. Okay.
We wouldn't have lost either one of those games that week if everybody on the team wasn't sick, Dean.
Yeah, I know. I know, but I mean, you can't go back and undo the damage. That's the hard part.
Well, I know you can't, but you got to understand what happened.
I do understand. Okay, Washington 3-6, Rutgers 2-7, and Oregon 1-8, Northwestern 1-8, Maryland 1-8, Penn State 0-8. So, a couple of things I noticed: both Penn State men and women are 0-8 in conference play. Alrighty. Okay, here's one final question before we leave for the night. Okay, Super Bowl. Patriots versus Seattle. Rams and Larry Jackson not looking good with under 3 minutes to go. What's the score, guys?
31-27, Seattle with 3:20 to go.
Who
And
has
it's
the ball?
3rd and 8. If the Rams stop them here, the Rams would probably be favored to get a touchdown and win. But I
Okay.
can't see
Well,
that it's over with.
So on
I got my
Sunday,
prediction. I'm going to say it's the Patriots and Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I think the Seahawks win it. You know, I don't think Rams get there.
It's
But
now it's Seattle 4th and about a half a foot. I don't know if they're going to try going for it or whether they're going to punt.
so on Sunday, we also going to talk about the tight end room, or what other category?
We already did.
Okay.
yeah, you missed that show.
We've
But
done every position. We've done every position on offense.
Okay.
We haven't done special teams, and we did linebackers. I waited for it to get done in the portal because I knew we were going to keep getting wide receivers.
Right.
So we're going to do defensive line and secondary, and then kickers and punters, probably kick return, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
I'll get on
We'll
the defensive
tell
line.
you beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah. Guys, I just realized something. Next Sunday is not the Super Bowl, so we can still go live next Sunday. Okay. So we will not be live the Super Bowl Sunday.
I will not be. I'll be watching I'll be watching the Super Bowl, but also it's my future wife's birthday. So I will take that day off. You guys are more than welcome to come on and talk.
I'll be watching the Super Bowl, trust me.
All right. I am
Kyle?
38. I'm 38 and I'll be 39 in May.
Okay. So congratulations. Right now you would be the youngest guy we've ever had guest hosting on this show.
That's okay. I enjoy it. I'm learning a lot from both of you, so I appreciate that.
Oh, we appreciate you coming on here. For the people who haven't realized it, Kyle Reimers is he's been on the last few episodes, and we really appreciate him coming on, and he's added a lot to the show because Jason, is taking a break. Paul's taking a break, and I hope Paul and Jason both will be back at some point. And so
Molly's taking a break.
Molly's taking a break, and I really tried to sell it to her today, guys. I did. I really did. But she didn't even look at my text message I sent her.
One other thing today.
What?
I forgot.
What?
The Adrian Peterson's daughter, and that I think Easton McCullum from Arkansas. I think today was where they were supposed to visit for the game.
Yeah, what a great game for them to see.
People were wondering whether the girl from Arkansas, because they got ice, made it out of Arkansas for the trip. But
I was kind of wondering if any of them would make the trip because if still pretty bad around there.
There wasn't any bad weather here to come from Minnesota down here. All she had to do is use her vertical jump up in the air, and the damn wind would have blew her down here. Wouldn't even need a plane.
Right.
Yeah, I'm funny, Dean. But
yeah, that was good.
I forgot all about that, and I apologize because I forgot all about that till now.
Okay.
And boy, they are really good.
My thought with when Calvin was talking about Georgia beating Kentucky, man, Kentucky does need Greenway's daughter for sure. Because if they're you got the SEC is pretty, loaded, and Kentucky seems like they're struggling a little bit offensively.
Is Greenway's daughter there now, or is she coming next season?
Next year.
No.
Next year.
She's playing. She's playing. I don't know if Ari Peterson plays with her anymore. I think she left the school and went elsewhere. But Kentucky's got the great coach from Louis that coached Haley Van Liff at Louisville, and that's why They're going to be really good. They're ranked right with Iowa right now. They lost today. It ain't
Right.
like they got to build.
Right.
They're good.
Oh, here's something I wanted to say. I forgot to. I'm glad that Cyhawk brought it up. Gronowski looking good at his Shrine Bowl or Senior Bowl. Weejin also looking good as a receiver. Yeah, I saw some clips
Did you guys
of
see the
Weejin.
videos? Yeah.
I've seen the video of Weejin, but I haven't seen any of Gronowski.
I'll have to watch that.
Is
I
it
haven't
the
seen
Shrine
any
or
of
Senior
Gronowski.
Bowl?
It's the East-West game, I think.
Yeah.
It might be
East
called the
West.
Shriners. I don't know. But, and it's called this. There's a bunch of Senior Bowls. There's
Yeah.
like 4 of them. But you seen the tape of Weejin?
Yes, I saw that.
Dean?
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah. When you seen that tape, I figured you'd do a mea culpa and say, "Hey, Budmeyer, pretty good wide receiver coach. Look at them patterns he's running."
Leave it to you to bring that up because you know how I feel.
Well,
Leave it to you.
well,
That's your
from everything
dig. That's your dig.
I'm not positive about Budmeyer. I've told you guys that over and over again. I'm just not going to throw a coach under the bus that's been there for 1 year. It's crazy. But anyway, one thing, anybody that watched the Hawkeyes play this year or watched Weejin play, it was his 5th or 6th year. You have to say that the room improved this year. And Weejin really improved, like 1,000%. He was bad as a wide receiver, but that was just kind of a joke about Budmeyer because I don't know nothing about him. I'm just not going to throw him under the bus when I don't know anything about him.
Right. I listened to a lot of the post game with Weejin over the couple weeks during the season, and he's like, "Yeah," he goes, "I don't care. I'm going to try and catch it and go." He goes, "I have all that confidence in myself that I know I can make a move and go." I was like, "All right, I like that. I like that about Weejin."
All right, guys. Yes, we'll
2
be
minutes,
on
2
here.
minutes, 2 minutes to go. Seattle 31, Rams 27, and I don't know what down it is, but Seattle still has the ball. So.
It's probably over then. Okay.
It's on the 40-yard line of the Rams. So.
Well, okay.
Anyway.
So here we go. Guys, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate both of you coming on here tonight. I appreciate all the viewers tonight, all your comments and questions. It's been a fun show. We'll see you guys Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central. Don't forget to hit the smash the sub button. Yeah. Will you let me get there? Okay.
Yes,
okay, everybody. Everybody smash that sub button, like, comment, and please share. Help us share it away. You guys make the show, and let's get some of your buddies on here. Okay. Alrighty. Weejin was. Wait a minute. Let's go back to this question real quick before we leave. Weejin was asked who was fastest of the Hawkeyes. He said Bevan Dow.
Well, ain't no doubt about that. All you had to do is look at high school track time. Yeah.
Go Hawks. All right. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for your contributions. All right. We're out of here, guys. See you Tuesday. Except for Kyle. Kyle won't be here Tuesday, right? Okay.
Nope. I'll be broadcasting the game. So.
All righty. See you then.
All right, guys. Bye. Thank you. Go Hawks.
Bye.